Hello, welcome to Jason Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. In today's video, I'm continuing my series of ranking my 100 favorite movies of all time. I'm going to cover 5 movies on this video. I'm doing 80 through number 76 on this list. And yeah, so you get to see my next 5 favorite movies of all time. Hopefully you enjoy them. So let's get to it here on Jason, the Old Millennial. Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing well here on a Friday night. It's been good. I've had the last 4 days off of work, so it feels like a mini vacation, so it's been great. I got some stuff done around the house, some yard work today in fact, and run some errands and all that. So, but tomorrow I'm going back to work, so it's all going to come to a complete stop, but it's been great. Yeah, so coming back with my 100 favorite movies. I've done 100 through 81. So I've done the first 20. So we're coming to the next 5. We're getting the 80s now. So starting with number 80, my 80th favorite film is a film I just got on Blu-ray recently. One of my favorite Disney animation movies, and that is Zootopia. Yeah, I forget when that came out. It was not too long ago, in the last 10 years. I saw this as a movie theater, and yeah, I remember Disney was kind of starting to make remakes and sequels, not remakes, but sequels, and they were making some movies that just weren't that great. Like, I feel like they're kind of going downhill a little bit, and then they come up with Zootopia, which at the time, the ones that were really doing really well were the musicals, like Frozen, Moana, Coco. I don't know if that's Disney, that might be Pixar, I can't remember, but they're doing more these musicals, but this one's not a musical really. But man, it is one of the best Disney animation movies. It's in my top 10 favorite Disney animation movies of all time. A very strong movie, and every time I watch it, I feel like I like it even more and more. And I liked it pretty much when I came to that theater. I think I like it more now when I see it. First off, it's just an absolutely hilarious movie. I love the duo of the Bunny and the Fox. Jason Bateman as the Fox, such a great voice actor, great actor overall. And I love this whole world building of this, world where animals, of course, act like human beings and talk and all that. We've seen that done before, but I think they do a really good job here. And it's all about this big city, Zootopia, and this bunny being the first bunny as a police officer, and her getting her first job and having a hard time and all that. And then we have this really good mystery about these animals going kind of crazy and what's going on there. And so the mystery part is actually done very well. Like I said, the duo of the bunny cop, who's this really goody two-shoe cop, with the fox, who's a bit of a schemer and all that, and a very sarcastic and not the nicest fox, I guess you can say. Great dynamic between the two. Always a good dynamic for a buddy cop, kind of, not buddy cop, but buddy movie. It's kind of a buddy movie in a way. Obviously, the best part is the DMV is run by Sloss. Perfect. I mean, it writes itself. It's like, yeah, it's a pretty obvious joke, but it's still a good one. And Flash, I love Flash, probably my favorite character. Hey, Flash. Hey, Nick. And that's how he talks the whole time. That scene is absolutely hilarious. My favorite scene in the movie. But I think there's a good twist here towards the end. And yeah, just very good storytelling. You don't get very good storytelling like this anymore, it feels like. So this is definitely one of the best told stories. Absolutely hilarious. Great characters. Yeah, Zootopia here at number 80 for me. All right, number 79. It's another Marvel movie. I think every time I have a Marvel movie, this is a pretty big one. One of the biggest ones actually, and this is Marvel's The Avengers, the first Avengers movie. Um, I'm trying to think. That came out like 2010 or something like that. I remember 2011, I think, something around there. I remember it coming out, and man, what a hyped up movie! What a groundbreaking movie! It really, to me, kind of changed cinema in the last 15 years or whatever uh, that's been out. The last 10 years at least. Um, I never thought of the idea of taking superheroes, making their individual movies, then making a movie where they're all combined together in the same movie. I never really seen it done before like that. Every once in a while, you might have two superheroes maybe team up, but never have like four plus superheroes. In this case, four superheroes: Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, and the Incredible Hulk all have their individual movies, and then the characters show up at it. And I don't know, it's hard to explain, but back at that time, that was groundbreaking. It was unheard of, and kind of like, what, they can do this? Like, to me, it was like an amazing idea. It's like something you only dream of as a fan of superhero movies. What if comic books they did it, and TV shows they do it? It's like, what if they combine different superheroes? It's like, it just never, I don't know why, it just never was thought, it maybe too hard to do, and all that. But boy, did it work out really, really well. This movie was the biggest box office movie of that year, one of the biggest of all time at that time. Made like over 600 million, I remember, and huge box office movie. And yeah, and what's so great about it, I love the characters. Obviously, Iron Man. Love the Iron Man. Love Captain America. Thor, I wasn't that crazy about, but I think he's really good in this movie. And the Incredible Hulk, played by the new Bruce Banner, which is Mark Ruffalo, does very well. Plus, you have uh, uh, Black Widow here, who Scarlett Johansson does a very good job, and also Hawkeye, who's very good as well. I think Jeremy Renner. I like Hawkeye. People make fun of him, but I like Hawkeye. He's a good character. And we get Loki as a villain, of course, very good villain here. And what it comes down to is that last scene, the attack on New York by the Chitauri, I believe it's called. That scene was one of the best action scenes I've ever seen in my life. And to this day, it's so impressive. The camera work on there, and I just love that whole scene. All the Avengers coming together after everything that's happened, and then and Captain America going, you do this, you do this, you do that. Hulk smash, or even Bruce. It's a good time to get angry right now. That's the trick. I'm always angry. Oh my gosh, so many great lines, great scenes there. Love the camera when it pans around all of them in their cool poses. Like, I don't know, I love that kind of stuff. So to me, I thought that was amazing. I love when the camera it follows one character as he's fighting these Chitauri, and then another character will fly by, and the camera will start following that person. Like, Incredible Hulk will jump from a building to another building, and the camera will follow the Hulk. And then someone else will fly by, and Iron Man will fly by, and the camera will then switch to Iron Man. It's all done like in a one-shot take. I've never seen anything done like that before. I've never seen that, just being blown away. Like that was one of the greatest action scenes shot I've ever seen, and it was so fun. And you get the Loki and Incredible Hulk, Incredible Hulk, beating up Loki. It's such a funny scene. I even mentioned the Thor Hulk fight is very good earlier on. The action scenes are all absolutely astronomical. The only thing I would say is I wish it was a little shorter, maybe. And they kind of have to reintroduce. They introduced all the superheroes in their individual movies, and they felt like we had to introduce them again in this movie. But again, action's great. The comedy is really good. The characters, again, great storytelling. The Avengers seems kind of low, but so many great movies here. But it's at number 79 on my list. 78 is a adaptation of one of the best children's books in my opinion. And that is Chronicles of Narnia: The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. I loved this as a kid. Not this movie, but I used to watch a BBC series that had like this the book, of course, originally written by C.S. Lewis. It's a good book too. It's a short book, not very long, but very well, great fantasy book in my opinion. It's obviously more of a children's book, but still really well written by C.S. Lewis, He was known for writing Christian books, one of the greatest Christian authors of all time. Uh, yeah, I used to watch the BBC series on it, and it was like, three, 2 hour episodes or something like that. I can't remember, or whatever. And I loved that show. Like, I had it on tape, and I used to watch that over and over again. It's one of my favorite things to watch. I was a huge fan of Chronicles of Narnia as a kid. And then I remember this movie coming out, and I was so excited. It's like, oh my gosh, they're re-adaptating this story that I love. They actually had a cartoon version, which was pretty good too when I was a kid. But I mean, what I love about this is like this came after Lord of the Rings, and Lord of the Rings just blew everything up fantasy wise. Where after Lord of the Rings was like, hey, let's start adapting other fantasy novels or whatever into movies, and this was a very easy, like, yes, definitely got to get this on. We need a new version of this where we got the great, we got all the incredible special effects to make this kind of movie, and they did, and it's a great adaptation, I think, of the book. Aslan, oh my gosh, one of the greatest characters of all time. Love Aslan, always love that, the Lion, who's obviously kind of like God/Jesus in a way, obviously because C.S. Lewis is Christian, there's some allegories here. The scene, spoilers for it, but you don't know, scene where Aslan gets killed by the evil White Witch. Oh my gosh, like I cry every time I see that. I cannot not cry because it reminds me of Jesus being crucified, on the cross. So as a Christian, I always kind of, it gives me that vibe that, someone innocent dying to sacrifice himself for others, What a great character trait. Also, I have to say, the White Witch, it's really good villain. And they got a really good actress. I'm trying to look up her name. I'm forgetting it now. I don't see it here. Gosh, I should know it. I wish they would have said it on here. They don't really have any of the names of the actors on the back here, unfortunately. Gosh, I wish I could remember her name, but someone in chat I know someone in the comments will tell me who it is, and I can figure it out after this. But the actress who plays the White Witch, she's a phenomenal actress. She ended up winning an Oscar for a different movie after this, but I feel like she should have got nominated for an Oscar for this role. I thought it was an absolutely great performance, one of the best villain roles I've ever seen. Gosh, I wish I could remember the name, but yeah, I love that. The action scenes are done very well. I think the overall special effects are great. I love all the armor, the medieval armor and swords and stuff like that. That battle scene at the end is a great battle scene. And it's such a great story. And they do an amazing job at adapting it. Tearjerker at times. It's an action movie, adventure, movie about family, all that. Great, great fantasy movie. Narnia. Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. All right, so now we're at, and that was number 78. 77 movie. This is a favorite of mine that I don't think is as well known. People don't talk about this movie, but it's called Frequency. And this came out in the 90s, I want to say. I'm forgetting exactly when. Sometime in the 90s this came out. And it's the first movie I've ever seen Jim Caviezel in. As you see there's Jim Caviezel and Dennis Quaid. I have to maybe explain this movie. It's a kind of a sci-fi murder mystery kind of movie in a sense. Deals almost not exactly time travel, but kind of like a time travel type of a story where Jim Caviezel finds one of those transistor radios, I think they call them, where you can, talk like this on it. And it was his dad's, and he puts it together, and his dad has died. His dad was a firefighter, and he had died or whatever, years ago. And his son, Jim Caviezel, is a cop in modern day. And he puts this thing together, and all of a sudden he starts talking on it, and somebody's talking on the other end, and he's like found this like friend. Well, what happened, and again, I don't know, can't really explain it, but by some kind of magic, it turns out that transistor radio that he's talking through is talking to his dad from the past. So he doesn't know this at first, but then he finally figures out that he's actually been talking to his dad from the past anyways. And once he finds that out, he starts, telling his dad, how to not die because his dad dies like in a fire, doing firefighting. And so he kind of changes the future, and then other things happen. It's always that whole thing. If you change the past, what is it going to, the danger of trying to change the past is it might change something in the future. And so once he did that, he kind of said he saved his dad's life in the past. Everything changes in the future, and then something else happens. And so he realizes, oh no, by him saving his dad, something else bad happens. So now he has to get his dad to try to reverse that part, or try to figure out. It's almost a mystery. He's trying to tell his dad, information from the future to try to help him. And there's a murderer, anyways. There's this kind of murderer that's a serial killer that has been killing people around that area, and it affects their family. And so he's trying to give his dad information from the future because he's a cop and he has the information of the murder or something like that, and when the next murder is going to take place. And so his dad, who's just a firefighter though, tries to investigate with information he has from his son from the future. This all hopefully makes sense, to try to catch a serial killer. Anyways, it's just phenomenal. It's a very intense, thriller, sci-fi. The acting is phenomenal. I think that's when I love Jim Caviezel. He's one of my favorite actors out there today. He gives a great performance here. It's when I saw this, I'm like, man, I really like this guy. I want to watch more with him. Dennis Quaid, of course, is always very solid here as well. So I can't recommend this more. It's not as well known, I think, movie, so I really want to champion it. For anybody who hadn't seen this, check this out if you like sci-fi, action, thriller kind of movie. This is again, incredibly written movie. I love the script on here is phenomenal. How everything unfolds at the end, the twists, the turns, and the climatic ending. It's one of the best. That's why I have it so high here on my list. Number 77, Frequency. All right, last movie I'm going to talk about. At number 76, another anime movie, one of my favorite Pixar movies, and that is WALL-E. WALL-E, as I think Eva says. Just, man, what a great robot character. One of the greatest robot characters of all time. Just look at his eyes. He's so cute. I love WALL-E. Oh, he's so great. And it's so incredible how you can love a character so much who doesn't talk, really. You can only say a couple words here and there. But you absolutely love this character. He's so nice. He goes out his way to help others. He's in love with this other robot. And that's what I love about the movie. And how just genius filmmaking. I don't know how else to say it. How does a movie make me feel for a love story between two robots? And it totally does. Better than most human stories don't do this good of a job of making me believe in the love story. But I really believe that he loved this robot, and I really was rooting for these two robots to get together, and however that is, and he's kind of, doing it by watching, humans and kind of, taking on human traits, I guess, in a sense. And it's all from watching a DVD or whatever he has of Hello Dolly. And he watches Hello Dolly. That's the only movie he has. And so he's been watching Hello Dolly, and he sees the love story in there, and himself wants to, have that love, for a female, I guess, in a sense, if you can call robots male and female. It's kind of difficult there. But, and all he wants to do is hold her hand, because in the movie Hello Dolly, the guy holds the girl's hand. And so it's so cute, like how he keeps wanting to hold Eva's hand, because that's what he sees in that movie. And so that whole story between them two is great. I love how the first part of the movie is almost no dialogue. Usually I don't like movies that do that. Usually it's boring, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, let's get on to something, the plot, But I love the first 10 minutes or whatever in the movie, where it's just WALL-E in the dump, doing his job and interacting with the different objects that he finds. It's absolutely hilarious. I was laughing through the whole thing. And again, you get so much out of just his eyes, how his eyes move. It's like you get so much emotion, and you read what he's thinking. It's incredible. And then he gets on the ship, and then the plot kind of gets, more about what's going on with the humans on the ship. They've all gotten fat because they're all taken care of by the robots, and they're all waiting for signs of life, or signs that life could exist on Earth to go back, or that they can at least plant and farm and stuff like that. And so it's all about that, and great reveal of the bad guy. Again, and then that final scene with Eva trying to revive Wally after he basically sacrifices his life for everybody. She's trying to revive him back. That scene, oh my gosh, is just like one of the most heartwarming scenes I've ever seen. It's two robots. How do two robots make me feel this way? It's incredible. But yeah, it's a very funny movie. It's a good, I almost want to say it's one of the best romantic movies I've ever seen. Anime movie about robots. But yeah, I love it. Wall-E, great movie. There at number 76. All right, so that's my 80 through 76. Feel free to comment on these movies. Do you know these movies? Have you seen them? Especially you, Mike. I'm sure there's one at least you haven't seen out of this list. So definitely would be recommending that to you. But anybody else, yeah, if you've seen this movie, tell me what you think, what movies you love. Love to read your comments. I always enjoy that when you guys comment on these. Tell me what you think about these movies. I hope if you haven't seen them, give them a watch. Tell me if you like them. I would love that. I always love to hopefully recommend good movies to people to discover and love as well as I do. So, yeah, definitely hope you give these some watches if you haven't seen them. But anyways, besides that, just thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for liking it. And thank you to all my subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate all of you and I hope you have a good day.